G'day everyone, it's Graham from Great Off-Road Adventures. Welcome to another video. Now at the moment, I'm on my way down to AMV Automotive and Performance. The Cruiser is coming up on, let me check quick, 280,000 Ks. It's time for us to give it a bit of a birthday. So that's what you're going to see in this video. From our spectacular campsites on the most remote of tracks to the workshop and everything in between, your next episode of Great Off-Road Adventures is just seconds away. Well, Neil's ripping into the car already. We've got to take the intercooler off, the intake off, and get down to the glow plugs. We have to remove the glow plugs, and once they're removed, then we can do a compression check on the engine. The importance of doing a compression check at this stage is going to identify any faults that we can't necessarily see inside the engine. We want to make sure that we've got good, healthy and equal compression across all the cylinders. Having done that, if that comes back all good, then we can look into doing a few upgrades through the rest of the week. There is quite a bit of time that's required to take the intercooler and the top bit of the engine off. So let's check out how Neil's going, see what else is left to do. Alright, well, as you can see, it's slowly coming apart. We've got intercooler off, all the intake piping off. At the moment we're pulling coolant lines off that run across the top there, so it certainly doesn't look like how it did when it rolled in here, but there's still a bit of work to go before we can get a compression check done. But, we're getting there. Well, a bit of an update for you. We've removed the intercooler, we've removed the coolant lines underneath it, we've removed the fuel lines, and we've removed the glow plugs. A couple hours worth of work involved in removing all of that. It's pretty time consuming. But we're up to the stage now where we can conduct a compression check. So Neil's just grabbed a piece of paper and he's drawn on there the direction of the engine, where the cylinders are. We're going to get into this compression check. I want everyone to cross their fingers and think positive thoughts. See how we go.
wouldn't know anyone that could do that.
Several days later.
Well, welcome back everyone. Well, it's Wednesday mid-morning now, and we started this job on Monday morning. Came down to AMV to do the turbos and the injectors, and as a result of the compression test, you would have seen that just before in the video, we end up having to do a leak down test. Those of you that are mechanically minded will know that that's not good. In full transparency, let's run through what we found. So we got a notepad here from the other day, and on it we wrote down the values from the compression test. This side here is driver's side, firewall down the bottom, radiator at the top. So 1, 3, 5 and 7 tested 350, 320, 350, 360. That's pretty good. Happy with that. 277,000 kilometers. The new VDJ should test between 400 and 420 psi. So 360, 320, 350. It's okay. We'd get by if that was the worst of it. Sadly, as you can see, it's not the worst of it. Cylinders 8, 6, 4 and 2. We've got 300, 350, 310, and this one here we had to do multiple tests on. The first test was 150, and the leak down test, we feel that's pretty accurate. Subsequent tests, the way in which we did it, and I'll explain it now. We tested that cylinder. That was the third one we tested. We didn't believe the results. We didn't believe 150, not seeing 350, 300, 310. So we pulled the fitting out, re-greased it, put it back in, ensured it was tight, sealed up, retested it, tested it again, and so we got 3 different results. Higher results, the 200 results that are at 200 is because obviously we've pushed a bit of oil up by doing the test over and over again, and that's helped seal that cylinder and get the high compression. But the first result we got was 150. So going on from that, we've obviously got the driver's side of the engine is okay. Passenger side definitely is more worn. We noticed when we were pulling the engine apart that there appeared to be a bit of dust down the intake. I'll show you that now. This is the one of the intake hoses, goes down to the turbo. And I'm sure as you can see in there, the dust. Might even try and shine my light down there. I think you can see that. So yeah, that's signs of bad things. Moving up to our airbox lid. This is honestly where we think the damage has come from. I'll hold it this way. You can see there's dust that's been also attracted to moisture somehow in the airbox lid. But on the lid itself, along this back edge here, try and hold that up so you can see it. You can sort of see where I've rubbed my finger here. You can see that big clean section, and you can see the dust that's in there. So yeah, it's pretty evident with all that engine had sucked through dust. If there was a split in one of the pipes, we would have found it. So our feeling is the dust has been sucked through around the filter, around the seal of the filter, or through the filter itself. Either way, not good. It's done, the damage is done now. So we did the leak down test. Leak down test, you turn the engine until that piston's at top dead center, and essentially we're looking to see if there's damage to an intake valve or an exhaust valve, because if it's one of those two, it's a lot cheaper than a new engine. We did the leak down test. We ensured both valves were sealed. We pushed air into the engine. And of course you listen to where it leaks out. It either leaks out the exhaust or the intake if it's damage to one of the valves. Unfortunately, ours leaked out through the crankcase ventilation, which means the air is getting pushed around the piston down into the crank, which means it's a worn bore or worn piston rings, and that is what happens when you suck dust through the engine. Unfortunately for us, that leaves us in a very, very big predicament of what do we do. We can rebuild this engine, we can put a new engine in it, we can keep going on the existing engine, we can strip the car and sell it, but morally for me, selling it on a worn engine like this doesn't sit right with me. I wouldn't be happy to be on the receiving end of something dodgy like that, to go out and buy used 200 series that the previous owner knows it's low on compression, and then suddenly you're left in the shit position that we're in. So I've taken the last day and a half away from the camera to think, come up with a plan, what we're going to do. Guys here at AMV have been incredibly helpful, provided us with a lot of insight and helped us formulate these decisions and formulate these plans. The theory behind selling the car just doesn't hold water. One, it's awkward. Two, we could sell it with the worn engine and without some of the modifications for $35,000. We can go out, buy a 1-year-old used, lightly used dual cab ute that's going to be about $50,000, maybe even more, and the difference between 35 and 50 is 15. The dual cab ute's a completely different platform to the 200 series, so we can't take any of our modifications from the 200 with us, bar maybe the stuff on the roof rack. And so we're easily going to exceed another $15,000 to build a dual cab to be even close to what this is. It's probably going to be more like a $15,000 changeover between the sale and the purchase, and another $30,000 to build it. That's just not possible. So then the other option was, do we get another 200? Go and buy a used one. Risk is you're going to buy into exactly the same problem we're in now. But even then, we're in the same position where we sell this for 35. We can find a good 200 that's going to be about 65, 30 grand. And then I'm going to spend every weekend for the next 6 weeks taking all the modifications off of this car to put them onto the new one. Not worth it. So then we have the option of, do we fit a rebuilt engine? That'll come in at about $25,000. Or do we fit a new engine from Toyota, all new Toyota supporting components for that engine, so new water pump, new radiator, new coolant lines. The new engine comes with a new fuel pump, new injectors, new turbos, you know, everything new. And in that case, we get a 2-year unlimited kilometer warranty from Toyota, because Toyota genuine parts and accessories get a 2-year warranty, including the ones, and that covers us even when the work's done by another mechanic away from a Toyota dealer. So that's where we're leaning at the moment. Do the $30,000 option because we get a 2-year warranty. That's the pathway we're looking at going down. The difficulty is, where do you magic up 30 grand for an engine and labour to drive a car out? I don't know about you, I don't know about many families, many young couples out there. Money doesn't grow on trees. Work bloody hard for it. Have $30,000 lying around in the bank? Not always the case. So we're looking at options. By the time you watch this video, we will know what pathway we're going down. But as of right now, I don't know. We're waiting for more information. If we can't do that, then the other option that exists is to run this engine into the ground. So yeah, we're honestly exploring those two options. Put a new engine in it now, or keep fighting on with the existing one, being mindful of the fact that it's damaged, being mindful of the fact that if we do that, we can't go remote, we can't go on our own places. because if it fails, we're in deep trouble. Doesn't preclude us, doesn't stop us on this existing current worn engine from continuing to explore within half a day of Perth. You know, anywhere from Geraldton down to Albany, there's heaps to explore in that region. And you know, if we go away with friends and the car gives us issues, we'll make a plan to get back to Perth. We'll make a plan to recover the car back to Perth. It's not that far away. It's very different than if you were interstate or up in the Kimberley, where, you know, days to get back to Perth, days to recover the car. That's the sort of consideration. So the consideration is, if we fight on with this existing engine, we postpone our big trip for 12 months, and we just save hell for leather over 12 months, save the money that we need for the new engine, and cross our fingers, hope that this one does 12 more months. In 12 months time, come in, new engine, and then utmost confidence restored that the car's in good health. At this stage, I understand it's probably been a bit of a boring video. Half of it you've seen us taking the car apart, and the other half you've heard me talk. And for those of you that have hung around, thanks for the support. This obviously hasn't been a happy video. I certainly haven't been very happy making it. And you know, understandably so. It's very difficult news to try and absorb and process. But we've taken a day and a bit to do so, and we think we've come up with the right plan, the right solution, and that is rebuild this thing and keep on exploring with it. So stay tuned. I'm sure, well, I've told you this much. I'm not going to hide what we do next, am I? Full disclosure, like I said, on what happens. This is all unexplored new territory for me. It's obviously, I'm learning this the hard way, so that perhaps some of you guys out there don't have to. So bear with us, and we'll show you what happens next. In the meantime, I suggest you go down there, hit that subscribe button. You'll get notified when the next video comes out, and I'm sure in that one there's going to be more information about what goes on. And to support us and to help us out, go over there, watch as many of our other videos as you can. Every time you watch a video and you watch the advert, we get a small amount of money. Right now we need as much of that as possible. So if you want to help us out, go and watch our videos, go and watch our adverts that are in them. It's free for you to do so. Helps us out with a bit of money. And I know we definitely need that money right now, because 30 grand to get the car back on the road. Not good. Anyway guys, enough doom and gloom. Happy safe adventuring. Stay safe on the tracks and trails, and hopefully we'll see you out there sooner rather than later. Cheers.